You know, she should be there.
No, computer, I don't need anything.
Physically and mentally.
Away.
But I think that God makes her be there spiritually.
Yeah.
You know, and
Well, you get talking. She talks Catholic viewpoint very well. Yeah.
yeah, that's something that's part of her being. You know, it's part of
So
the
you have Ann Zembick brings her communion every Monday morning.
yeah.
And he said it was
And,
only a total of a half
So when you get after she receives communion, then you have some prayers after, and Betty gives all the
no
prayers
guarantee it
after.
would help. In fact, it might even hurt.
And
It has to be like a diopter.
saying is one, which I used to say too. And then first you know she had a second one, and then she had a third one.
A third
And the other
prayer.
day she told me, well, she says when she was
Maybe you look good again tomorrow.
in grade school, why for some reason or other they wanted to go to mass in St. Joseph's Hospital because it's just half a block away. But they had a limited number. So somehow or other, Betty got in, and the nuns, she learned the prayers from the nuns.
You know, this is why I think that it's so important for us to keep this Catholic education stuff going on, because we don't do these things that we think, I don't have time to learn all this stuff. Maybe the nuns do, you know,
But you don't have the nuns now.
we don't so much, but there's still
Do they really?
the next best thing. We just have to keep going to the next best thing.
When you think of nuns, I think of
You made me feel good.
that
Do you put the phrase at the end? Or you
after the Colmar Pocket, my company was moved to on the road sign that said Weiler, W-E-I-L-E-R. Well, no, that's not Weiler.
Running to the
Saint Johann and Saint Joan in French.
My boys are going to come too, I think.
But they took anyway. There were some blue nuns in this little house, and we set up our bivouac in that area. Well, they insisted that we move in
I like your North
to
Dakota
their
dance, by the
this
way.
infirmary, which is closed, and so that's where I was.
They see how you guys
And this was in Lent,
They see how you guys
and the head nun said, "We're going to be having prayers at 1 o'clock. If you want to join us, we had to have it."
His
So
brother
there's about
is
15 of us. Every day at
Bart
1 o'clock we'd go in and
on speed.
they would say the rosary in French. We'd be saying
I mean, he's
English.
a wonderful guy. He's a very
And,
sweet
He's been off drugs
guy.
for
He's
11
got a
years,
big
so-
heart.
Then we got word we're going to have a award ceremony, so you have to get your uniforms all clean.
Vicodin and vodka.
Well, after being out in the dirt so for a long time, they were pretty dirty.
It is.
Yeah.
So we took
It
gasoline,
was Vicodin with some alcohol.
we'd soak them in gasoline and dry them out.
I can't imagine. Didn't it smell like gasoline
Oh yeah.
afterwards?
No, after a while, you got used to it.
New York. I love getting.
But that's
But it was like dry
and they
cleaning.
couldn't understand that
Vicodin with
officers would be doing something like that. So they took over some of it and did some of the cleaning for us.
Yeah.
The doc said, "You got Vicodin at the office? Just take that."
Thinking of that when we're at
When I cut your fingers,
Lower Prada in Italy.
You need a little shot of
Now, Prada is a little city. Lower Prada is no longer a city. There's a castle there. And the castle was built on the side of the real steep hill. So the bottom of the hill was the entrance, and it was built 8 or 9 floors up to the top.
Yeah, we took
From the top, when you came in from the top, that's where they had a bakery oven in there, and you could cook it. You know, they'd put the heat, and you put the bread dough in, and the heat would cook it. And the nuns had an orphanage on the lower part, down below.
using collage.
One day they
Megan Fox.
approached Wilkie
Megan Fox is the
and said that they would like to do some
Yes,
laundry for us.
Megan Fox, all lycra
Well,
collage.
Wilkie says, the men may have some to be do laundry, but they'll pay for it. They won't pay for nothing. So he said, well, they would do it that way. And then he said, when the Germans were here, we got slips like this. They gave us a slip, you know, and it says there, Badoglio pays. Badoglio was the successor to Mussolini on the head of it.
Stop on the highway.
So they
did the same thing for the others, but they got,
they didn't get any money for it.
yeah.
Can I tell you what's going on?
They had the kids had, or the men had candy for home, and they'd go to the nuns and give them candy, and they guarded that candy because that was incentive money. That was nice.
Yeah.
That castle,
Wow.
let's see, I think it's 1100 when it was built.
Well, now where was that exactly?
In Italy, at Prada, Italy.
Prada, Italy.
And connected with it is the grist mill, the water-driven
Yeah,
milling,
yeah.
and they were still using that.
You know what the definition is?
That had been in use for many, many years.
You know what always interested me was that you always thought about all these different things that are involved in every little part of what, you know, whether it's back in Wyoming and it was when you were hunting or fishing and what it involved. I always think that I'm a scientific kind of person because I think about how it all relates to all these other things. You know, if it's like, why is it really like you would say, I can tell what temperature it is outside right now because this is how it feels in my nose hairs. You remember how, you know, and how it sounds in the crunch of the snow. You know, all these little things. It's all scientific and it's all very interesting to me.
Snow when you get below 19.
I would stockpile that stuff.
Below 19 it crunches, okay. And then there's certain things that you would like think about. I mean, not that you have to have every little thing like you know, figured out, but I just remember thinking, well, there's a reason for everything, and scientifically there's, you know, it does this at this temperature probably, and it does this at that temperature probably, and it was always so interesting to me because it makes it more scientific. And I think about, and that's why I like physics, because I think that's the reason why things happen and the way we explain physical things.
That's the laws of physics.
Yeah.
God put them there.
Yeah, and
we discovered them.
it was the hardest class for me in high school, and I didn't have to, because I wasn't a science major, I didn't have to do anything bad in physics, you know, hard in physics.
Think of the properties of water. Water, as the temperature goes down,
And knowing him, if there's something wrong,
What is that? Does that number mean anything?
how do I want to put it?
he would not be a slow.
Oh, 5.56.
I should just,
Not want to, if he went to OU, he'd die.
Yeah, because those shells were about that long.
The density of the water
I'm kind of a slob too.
gets
I was appalled by it.
more thick,
yeah,
higher.
yeah.
And when it gets down to 33,
5.5.
instead of continuing that, it starts to expand.
Yes.
And as a result, the ice is lighter than the water. So the ice is on the top.
Yeah.
If it didn't, the ice would be on the bottom, and it would be
Everything would be exterminated.
August before the thing would thaw out.
And it would be exterminated. Every fish would die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many good things. I always think about how you were so scientific, and all these different things, like the little goofy things that you'd play on your brothers, you know, with the things making sulfur, you know, smells and all that kind of stuff. And I always think about all that stuff and how a lot of these things are just scientific, goofy little things that you guys played on this knowledge, you know?
You know, when Betty was in earth nursing training, she was taking chemistry. Of course, it's a watered down chemistry. It's not chemistry. And so I'd be in the lab on Saturday morning, and when I'd leave, I'd take something put a little experiment, you know, like, well, different things. Anyway, Pat, you know, he was quite a bit younger.
Okay, he was one of the youngest.
Yeah, he was the second youngest.
Okay.
Pat would watch what I was doing, and that was great, you know. So this one day, he asked his dad if he could have a couple of nickels. He wanted to go to the drugstore and buy an experiment. So he gets $2, two nickels, goes over to the drugstore, comes back, and he says, "That dumb druggist, I asked him for 10 cents for the experiment, and he gave me gum."
Experiments. He wanted the experiments. So, well, I'm going to turn this off for a second here.